Hey, what's up? It's Matt in Japan, and welcome back to my channel. And today, from the Transformers Buzzworthy Bumblebee line, this is Origin Bumblebee. So let's take a look at the packaging first and foremost. The first thing you'll notice is that it is an open package. There is no plastic protecting the figure inside the box. So it's a little bit different from what we're used to, especially with the Kingdom figures. It's a little bit of a concern as well because maybe, on the shells, it can be poked or scratched or damaged somehow. But though this is all open, so there is no plastic covering. So it's just an open part here. But fortunately on my copy, it looks pretty unscathed here. So I'm very happy. So yeah, let's take a look at the packaging. You have Transformers down the side, 8+, Hasbro, Buzzworthy Bumblebee, Origin Bumblebee. And I really like, again, how they did the sort of fade like they did with the Shattered Glass logo there. So you do see Bumblebee there, some animation images, some CG renders and such. So very, very Bumblebee. And it does have this sort of wraparound side. You get the nice yellow Autobot logo there. And you get a very cool sort of comic looking Bumblebee. So a few images of Bumblebee there. On the side, you get that same sort of cyberversy picture of Bumblebee there. And down at the bottom, you get the authentic Transformers logo there. On the bottom, you have your product information. On the top, much of the same. Generations logo, Takara Tomy. And on the back, you do get your product images. So, Origin Bumblebee. He does come with the backpack that we saw with the Sideswipe backpack. It is gray in this one. So there he is in his robot mode. And he converts into his Cybertronian vehicle mode in 23 steps. And he does come with these little rods that were from the original cartoon. I think him and Wheeljack were carrying them. So that's a very interesting inclusion there. So you see Transformers War for Cybertron trilogy down at the bottom. And more product information. So without further ado, let's get this Origins Bumblebee out of this packaging and see what he's all about. Okay, so here I have Origin Bumblebee out of the packaging. And before we take a look at these details, let's take a look at the accessories he comes with. He comes with, well, technically he comes with 7 accessories, but I'm going to call it 3 accessories. So the first one is his blaster, and this is what it looks like. And it's just molded in a black plastic, but you get a little bit of detail on the back there, a little bit of sculpted detail on the inside. So very cool. It's a lot better than the other Buzzworthy Bumblebee figure that came with Spike Witwicky. This is a lot better blaster than the one that he came with. So it does come with that. And it does come with his jetpack. And I must apologize, this is not the same jetpack that came with the Centurion drone weapons pack for Sideswipe. I thought it was the same, but this is actually different. This is done in a black plastic and actually has some nice detail there with the lines and the little squares there. And it does have some nice detail on the blasters there. I'm just going around, getting a look at that. And actually very interesting on the packaging, the backpack, the jetpack is gray on the packaging, but in hand it is black. So I definitely like the black better. I think it goes with the Bumblebee aesthetic a lot better with the yellow and the black. So he does come with that. And he does come with, I only have a few here. He does come with 5 of these. I will show you why I only have 3 here in a second. And these, are the rods that him and I think Wheeljack, were carrying in the G1 episode. And the inclusion of these is kind of, I don't know. I really don't know why they include it. It's like a very rare sort of scene. But anyways, they're cast in this sort of orange plastic. And if you look real close, it does have some sort of nice speckle to it. So it's actually the detail in the molding is nice. But again, not really sure why they included these. Now, this guy is actually very tight. So I think one of the reasons why his joints are so tight is actually for him to actually hold these. So basically you can just put him his hands like that and have him holding to sort of recreate that scene. But I just think it's a little bit, I don't know. Again, it's very Hasbro and Takara to sort of put in these very random accessories with the toys here. So anyways, Bumblebee's sort of drooping there. Let's stand him up. The only reason I had 3 because I just had RC here just carrying like the other 2, like she was helping Bumblebee. So you can have other figures, carry them and stuff. So anyways, so he does come with technically 5 of the rods and the jetpack and the blaster. So, and then the jetpack, there's a hole on the back and there's a peg there. So that just easily pegs in like that. And you can have him flying through the air with his jetpack, and he does hold his blaster very easily. So it's just a 5mm port that fits right in and actually is very tight, so that's very good. So he holds that very nicely. So there it is. So speaking of tight, this figure is very, very tight, and I'm very happy. So all the joints are very tight on this guy. So we'll get into articulation in a second. But for now, let's take a look at his details, get his accessories off. And yeah, there's been some speculation or sort of talk about, why didn't this guy come out in the Siege line, because he would have fit perfectly with his Cybertronian alt mode. That's a mouthful. So, I understand, it would have been cool if it came out in Siege. I'm just happy to have it now. But yeah, I think it would have definitely fit the Cybertronian vehicle modes that we had in Siege. So anyways, getting a close look on his head sculpt. This is so G1 Bumblebee, it hurts. You get the really nice silver on the face there. You get the deep blue eyes. You get the yellow for the, the yellow plastic there with the horns. This is just classic Bumblebee through and through. And you see down here on the detail on his chest, you get some nice blue paint for the windows. You get the nice Autobot logo there. You see some nice silver detail underneath there, and we'll see more in his vehicle mode. And it's pretty standard fare as far as everything else goes. You do see a little sculpted detail here on the waist section, which is very nice, and going down the legs. I think my only qualm with this figure is the sort of side kibble here. It's a little bit, it would be nice if they streamlined it like that. But as it is, it's really not too bad. I think it probably looked worse in the product images that we first saw. But actually in hand, it's a little unfortunate, but it doesn't really bother me that bad. And he doesn't have much of a backpack. It's on a hinge here, so it actually tucks away pretty nicely. So there he is from the back. Unfortunately, when I got my figure out of the packaging, there was a little bit of scuff marks on the hood of the vehicle mode. So I'm a little bit upset about that, but maybe he crashed or something, so it's just some battle scars there. So anyways, yeah, so I think overall, yeah, this figure looks really cool. I'm so happy to have this guy. And speaking of articulation, like I said, this guy is just so tight. So his head is on a ball joint, and you don't really get any side to side. You do get a little bit of up and down movement here, so he can sort of look up and down. And of course, you can do a full 360. And again, very, very tight on my figure. He has a swivel joint for the shoulder. His arms can do a full 360 there. Can go out, and it can spin on the upper bicep swivel. And there's a little bit of articulation, but it's basically for transformation on the wrists. So getting his arms out like that. There is waist swivel. There's a 360 there. Very tight again. He can do the full splits. There's a hinge there at the thigh. You can do the full splits. And he can kick forward that much, and he can kick back that much. And he does have a upper thigh swivel there, and he has about a 90 degree at the knee, and he has the classic ankle rocker joint, and also some forward and back movement. So actually highly articulated figure here for this Origin Bumblebee. And again, I'm just so happy how tight these joints are. Really, really nice. So anyways, he is very posable and sturdy. And let's just put him down for a sec. See if we can just get him to stand up. And let's just do some quick size comparisons. I had the Siege side swipe. There he is with the Deluxe, and bringing in the Earthrise RC there. So there's just a quick size comparison. I think he scales actually quite well. So, remember in the G1 cartoon, Bumblebee was always a lot smaller than all the other characters. So actually, I think this scale actually fits very nicely. So anyways, let's get Bumblebee transformed into his Cybertronian vehicle mode and see how he fares. All right, so here we have Origin Bumblebee all transformed into his Cybertronian vehicle mode, and this guy looks amazing. Really loving the shape of this, just the feel and the aesthetic. Everything is just so cool. I really like this guy a lot. So you can see I have him on a little flight stand there. He actually does have a peg. I'm just going to take him off here real quick. He does actually underneath. There is a place for a flight stand there, but I don't have the small port, so I just plugged it in his wrist there, so you can do that as well. Now, one thing to be very careful about with this figure, when transforming, there's a lot of very thin plastic and very thin tabs. This one on the back being one of them. It does tend to come apart a little bit, but there are some very, very fine thin tabs there, and also up here. at the front, these two tabs up here, I could see easily breaking. So if you have this figure, please be very careful when transforming him. I was a little bit, I was trying to be very careful when I was transforming him, but I was a little bit scared because of these very thin pieces of plastic. Also under here, very thin pieces, and just the tabs I could see snapping off in the future. Now this mine is pretty well put together here, but there's a little bit of issues with this not lining up. But it's just one of those things, kind of classic Transformers, just kind of have to scrunch everything together. But taking a look at this vehicle mode is so cool. Again, you see the really nice clear blue plastic for the windscreen. You have that same Autobot logo that was on his chest, but there, that sort of grill piece there on the front with a nice gunmetal gray. And just the overall aesthetic and shape of this guy is so cool. It actually feels really nice in your hands too. He's got some nice weight to him. Very streamlined, and just loving the way he looks. And actually the transformation was very cool. And you can sort of see how everything works under there. From the underside, it is not too appealing. Hey, Bumblebee. But you're not going to be displaying your figure on the underside. So very cool. And of course you can take his jetpack and just plug it in on that same space on the top. So again, just giving him an extra boost through space on his way to Cybertron. And then you can take his blaster, and there are ports on either side. So you can take his blaster and just plug it in on the side there. So very cool. Really loving the way this guy looks and feels. He's like a Cybertronian frisbee here. So very cool. So just putting him down. Just going to take off his gun and his accessory there. Just putting him down. We'll do some quick, just do one comparison here. I was trying to do a vehicle comparison. I have the Masterpiece first rendition of the Masterpiece Bumblebee here. So that's sort of how they scale there. Whoops. Let me just move the camera ever so slightly here. So there is a comparison with the Masterpiece Bumblebee on the left and the new Origin Bumblebee on the right. And again, the color is really nice too. I really love that classic, really sort of mustard yellow that they use for the Origin Bumblebee. And just one more quick comparison, since I have him in vehicle mode. This is 86 Studio Series Wreck-Gar, and this guy is a monster compared to Origin's Bumblebee, but there you can see just a quick comparison there. So there they are side by side. So taking Wreck-Gar out of the picture, and Origin's Bumblebee from the Buzzworthy Bumblebee line. This has been Matt in Japan. I can't recommend this figure enough. I really love it. Love both modes. The vehicle mode's awesome. Love the Cybertronian mode. The robot mode is great. And I think the fact that all his joints are tight, everything I like about this figure. The only thing I really don't like are the the rods that he comes with. I thought they could have done without that. And also sort of his leg kibble in robot mode. But other than that, definitely pick this guy up if you see him. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Have a great day.